Okay, everyone. Mike Flanagan here with you. We're at the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open, the 2019 edition here at Cadillac XBC, the February Fusion Realtors. Joining me in the booth here as we bring you the finals. We start with the bracket play. Is John Brocklin, who's been with me all weekend. And last night he joined us, and he's back joining us again today. Is Tom Hess. Welcome, guys.
How you doing, Mike? Hi, John.
What we have here is the top 10 have advanced out of the 3 squads we had yesterday in qualifying and then the cashers round this morning, and the top 10 have been decided. And it all gets started right here with the 7 versus 10 matchup and the 8 versus 9. Brandon Biondo is the 7 seed and Matt McNeil is the 10 seed. They're facing off on lanes 19 and 20. And then over on lanes 21 and 22, we have Tony Oliva bowling against Andy Mills. The 8 and the 9 seeds. And we had built the scoreboard so you could read them, and then they've changed them on us. So now I will work diligently to try to help you with that so you can see better. But this tournament had how many entries did we have again? 180 entries? 196 entries into the tournament. And we're down to the top 10. After this round, the winners of each one of these matches will then draw the 5th and 6th seeds, who are Nick Crummell is the number 5 seed and Quincy Bruce is the number 6 seed. And then already seeded in the top 4, Michael Martell is your top seed at plus 390. Second is Ryan Zagar at plus 344. Third is Rob Warren at plus 298. And fourth is Logan Williams at plus 272. So that is your top 10 bowlers that are left in the tournament. The prize list is $3,000 on top. 10th position and 9th position being eliminated here will be $750 each. And Tony Oliva almost picks up the Greek Church on lane 21. So that is what we have for you this afternoon. We're glad you're here watching with us. And I'll work on those picture-in-pictures, boys, if you guys want to let everybody kind of know what's going on. It's going to be difficult to see that scoreboard on lane 20, but I'll try to get out of the booth once I get this situated now.
Work your magic, Mike. Andy Mills leaving a 2-pin.
McNeil opens.
Tied after 1 frame over there. Both with opens.
9 apiece.
Yep, 9 apiece.
So these scoreboards aren't going to wrap around, right? It's just going to go straight across.
God, I just can't see that far.
And a week 7 for McNeil. McNeil made a run today. He qualified 1 above the cut number at plus 19. So that made him 65th and made a charge all the way to 10th.
It's a double for Andy there, making the 2-8. That was not an easy spare this week.
And what is it that the guys are bowling on, John?
They are bowling on a 38-foot pattern designed for this tournament. 27.6 mils of overall volume, 2.06 to 1 ratio center to outside. And it is a symmetrical pattern. I saw the graph this morning. It's exactly the same on the left as it is on the right.
And I'm doing the best I can with the scoreboards, everybody. So hopefully that's a little bit better.
Still tied in the McNeil-Biondo match. Oliva down 10 with a chance to even it up with a strike here. Seeing 4 very unique styles in these 2 matches. Tony playing straight off the gutter. Oh, no. Goes a little high, 410.
Oh. That's like the worst leave in the world on a relatively decent shot.
Brandon throwing a little harder than Tony. Also outside, Andy in the middle, and then, of course, the lefty McNeil. Several ways to get it done this weekend. Got to go for it in that spot. Tony just missing the 4. Looked like he gave it a run to make it. Brandon Biondo covering the 2-8. That should still remain a pretty close match here. Oh my. Ooh. Andy Mills scouting out the 10 out of the 7-10 there. Gonna have a 20-pin lead if he makes the spare. Matt doesn't like it.
High again on that lane.
Yep, Brandon Biondo now with a 1-pin lead as Matt leaves the 2-4-7. Good solid cover by Andy. Ooh. From Matt's reaction, kind of looks like he feels he got lucky to make that spare.
Mm-hmm. After taking the 2-4 off of the 8 the frame before on that lane.
Yep, that's fun, isn't it?
It wouldn't surprise me if Matt McNeil would be the first person to ever come out of this bracket to win the tournament.
No?
It wouldn't surprise me.
That's never happened.
Nope. Nobody's won the tournament from these 7 through 10 matches. Also, another stat for you, the top seed, Michael Martell, will be sitting for about 3 hours before he bowls.
Yeah, that's brutal.
And we've got the stats on that. 5 out of the 14 past champions have won from the number 1 seed.
I won from the number 1 seed one of the 2 times I won, I believe. I think if I remember right. Oh, no. Number 3 seed twice, according to your stats.
So that's a worse percentage for the tournament leader than the PBA.
Tony Oliva gets his left lane figured out here, and we could have a match because he's pretty locked in on the right lane, and Andy seems to be kind of struggling on both. Oh,
Yeah,
Brandon does not like that at
Oh,
all.
Brooklyn
and,
strike.
Decided to use McNeil's pocket. Gave that one some room. That looks good
Yep.
from here. Yeah, nice shot, Tony.
Nice double there.
Wonder if this could be another one of those cases where missing them all on the 410 is gonna matter here. Pin count's looking kind of close early in this match.
Interestingly, is Brandon playing both of those lanes that different? He's going up the gutter on 20 and just moved into the middle of the lane on 19, or did he
I think
start both lanes out and just decide that's not working well enough, so I'm going to make a big move?
I saw him. He was from it's we're at a tough angle, but it looked like he was out the first couple shots.
Because the end of qualifying, he was deep into the middle of the lane, or the end of the catcher's round, he was deep into the middle of the lane.
Yeah. That's where I ended up today. I threw the first 2 out on the gutter and then, made a big move left. Andy, yep. That hit seems to carry pretty well in this building. See if McNeil makes the adjustment here. Likes it. Still went high. Six pin. See if Tony can stay within 10 of Andy here. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Swishes it. Yep.
That wall shot again.
Yeah. Matt staying solid, staying clean, making the spare.
Yeah, Nathan Johnson in the chat, you're correct. Chris Pearson was the number 9 seed in the modified stepladder the year that he won. You are right about that.
Yeah, earlier we were having that conversation. Joe didn't remember it, but I didn't go through and look through the records here. But yeah, good catch. Somebody did make it out of this round.
Anybody who proves Flanagan wrong is a friend of mine. Matt,
But
finally getting the
But has
strike
anybody gone from 65th to first?
There's been some runs. Dave Barris, I'm not sure he was quite that far down, but I remember Dave. I don't know that he won, but there's been, you know, John, there has been several guys that have come from the 50s and 60s to get into the top 10. From winning, you know, that I don't have any idea. Matt getting the strike there.
Well, Brandon is playing those two lanes very differently.
Yep. Unless he just moved, because the shot that I saw him throw before, I could have swore he was still out on. Like I said, we're at a way to the side angle here.
Oh, for sure on
sitting behind 25 and 26 and trying
for
to watch
sure
them.
on 20 on the monitor here. The last 3 shots have been out on the gutter, but 19. Let's see what he does this time. Yeah, he's back, going back left.
Andy Mills has a possible 222, possible 213 for Tony Oliva.
Tough spare here. Oh yeah, he went further left, way left. Good. Oh, must have 10 pin.
Yeah, 10 pin.
You can see it on the monitor.
If we wait for it to get there.
No, that's in real time
is
up
real
there.
time.
Oh, that,
here.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, geez, open up more computers.
Yeah, this is just for the chat
Oh, okay.
and to make sure that we're streaming properly. And John's chatting over there too.
Okay.
All right, so McNeil can take the lead here with a strike.
Mike could do a better job training me how to do this. I'd know all that, John.
Mills up in the 9th.
Oh, and
Didn't
that one,
carry
that
the
wall shot
swisher.
didn't quite carry.
So he can now bowl 211. Tony Oliva can bowl 213. He cannot be shut out.
Tony can actually stand up and throw the next 4 to win the match.
Yep. And McNeil's going to think about it a little bit more and reset. Glad you're with us watching today. Don't forget we do have 10 finalists here. This is 7 and 10 and 8 and 9.
Pretty unique format. I kind of like this format.
A
There's
little
the
more
double.
ball speed there.
He yelled at it a bit too, so it's going to be a 7-pin lead according to old traditional way you call bowling, but technically 17 pins, I believe.
Tony Oliva.
Looks like
That
that was
looks a
in a
pretty
little
good
bit.
shot.
Oh, and held. Was that in?
I think it was in from the shot before on that lane.
I
Shot
want
before
to
on that lane
test
was
my
another one of
replay real
those
quick. I want to see if my
swishers.
replay is working. Here's Tony Oliva again. There's that shot. Gets the 10 out. Now, where's it going to default to? Yep, no, I'm good.
Matt McNeil for the double.
Turkey.
For the turkey.
Yep.
That looked like it went.
Yeah, he's got it.
See if Brandon can answer here and put a little pressure on Matt. Oh, what do we think?
Flat 10. So 193 possible for Oliva.
Yep, spare and a big count makes Andy mark. Oh, Brandon goes Brooklyn.
Brooklyn
Big
again.
break.
That's twice on that lane.
So Brandon can still bowl 217. McNeil can bowl 234. If I'm seeing the scoreboards properly.
I think you are. Okay.
They're putting in new flat screens, I think, throughout this whole place, and they've done these pairs that we've been showing this week, which is greatly appreciated, but these are a little bit tougher to be able to read.
Oh, that was almost a 210. A 248 left for Brandon.
And his tournament's coming to an end here.
Tony needs at least 7 on this shot. I would say to have any chance to win. That's pretty good.
So that's 193.
Of course, the fill ball carries. The fill ball always carries.
Tony went to the University of Nebraska, right? And bowled for him?
Yes.
A lot of people forget that. Good collegiate player. Andy Mills just needs a mark.
No.
He's got to pick the 10 pin.
Solid 10.
Pretty good shot.
Yeah.
McNeil's pretty much on cruise control here. He just needs to keep it around the pocket and stay clean, but a strike here pretty much locks this thing up. Best Biondo can shoot is 197. And
Good
McNeil
shot
with a
there.
4-bagger. So it looks like we're going to have McNeil advance in that match. And we'll see if we can get a spare picked here.
Tom, they're asking what you were throwing today.
Oh, nice spare, Andy. I started, let's go through my day. I started with a web tour. Went further right than I did yesterday. Had a pretty good look. Unfortunately, I threw a couple of bad shots early in the day. Game 3, when I was on the live stream pair, I made a switch to a web and threw it out, one shot out on the gutter that went Brooklyn. Made what I felt was a pretty good move left. Bowled a very solid game, as you guys watched, with the back-to-back ring 10s and then the stuff 8. Bowled a pretty solid next game, but 4-9'd and 2-8-10'd on shots that I thought were good. I mean, that's just how tricky these lanes were. Shot 189, then I had to hit 35 and 36, which was, for me, just an absolutely awful pair. The first shot I thought I aced and hit the 3-6 right in the face.
That's the end pair in the center.
Yep. Shoot 158.
Ouch.
I ball changed from the web to a statement solid and moved 3 right, 3 and 3 right with my feet and my mark, and threw some really good shots that didn't carry. Had an awful break with a stone 8 in there, and then of course you lose your concentration for just a second. You miss the stone 8, and then I threw an impact the last game for 237 that also very easily could have been 279. Double 7-pin, double 2-pin, double 9-pin sheet. Just one of those days. Some days you carry all those, some days you don't. Today was not my day to carry all those.
Matt McNeil advances, bowls 220. Brandon Biondo bowls 187. And it was Andy Mills over Tony Oliva, 200 to 193. Coming up in the next match, Nick Krummel's going to come over and take on Andy Mills, and Quincy Bruce is going to take on Matt McNeil right here on Inside Bowling. We'll be right back.
No, they don't have arrow stuff yet. They're not starting.
They don't? Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
I saw
No.
the E's up there.
That was an erasure.
Okay. All right. So we got these guys here. Then the winners of each one of these matches will then go down on lanes 31 and 32, and they're going to bowl against each other. And then our top 4, again, are I got to really write these down because I need them at my disposal.
Just keep the sheet, buddy.
No, John's got it. Let's see.
Okay, so the first shot for score.
All right, here we go.
Mills
I
leaves
got
a 2-8.
Oh, is that it already? So they are keeping score. All
Yep.
right.
That was the first shot.
All right, so welcome back, everybody. We've got Nick Crummell taking on Andy Mills, who just advanced out of the last match, defeating Tony Oliva, and we have Matt McNeil now taking on Quincy Bruce. Quincy Bruce is the 6 seed, Crummel's the 5 seed, and Matt McNeil is looking to become a 2-time champion of this event. He won the very first Fusion back in September of 2011. Once we've determined a winner from each one of these 2 matches, we are then going to have them bowl each other to then go on to take on 4 seed Logan Williams later on this afternoon. Mike Flanagan, John Brocklin, and Tom Hess here with you, calling the action here at Maple Lanes in Waterloo, Iowa.
Cadillac SPC.
It's a good call. Yeah, that is where it is. I just got done looking at this picture right here, and it was at Maple.
Matching 2-8s in the
That's interesting. Matching 2-8s.
in the Mills Crummell match.
Quincy Bruce bowled yesterday in shorts. It was 6 degrees outside. I specifically remember that. He elected to wear jeans today.
Both spares in the first in the Crummell and Mills match. McNeil with a strike. And Quincy with a spare. Ooh, okay. Lower 7. Great pitch there.
Crummel's bowling the tour this year. Pretty much full time. You've seen him out there every week, right, Tom?
The 3 weeks that I was there, he was there. Yes. Pretty sure he's bowled them all. He was at team trials as I was there too, and they all left from team trials to head over to Oklahoma. So he would have missed Arlington to be at team trials. Another time match over there.
Yep.
That was a PTQ that you had to qualify to get into that one, right? Arlington Hall of Fame Classic, I believe. Because it was a limited field with the small center there.
I'm sure Nick would have had to have bowled the PTQ, yes. I think he's been in everything else. You know, the PBA does it by when you enter.
Neil got a little quick there.
Got a nice break there.
Cut it a bit short. Went high for a 6-10.
Interesting, McNeil hit the reset button when the rack was already resetting.
Andy
2-pin on 19.
light again.
Tony Oliva and Brandon Biondo, who were eliminated, both received $750 for their $130 entry fee.
$60.
$160 entry fee. And then the losers of these two matches will finish 7th and 8th, and will get $800 each. 6th place will receive $900, 5th place $1,100, 4th $1,300, 3rd $1,500, 2nd $2,100, and 1st place $3,000.
Pretty solid event for a $160 entry fee.
Yeah, we totaled it up. It's over $32,000, almost $33,000, and if you take the entry fees by the amount of bowlers, they're paying out about $2,000 more than what was taken in, and that includes lineage and paying for all the expenses of the tournament.
More online from McNeil there in the 4th. Got some good carry. Crummell can't get the 10 out. Messenger stopped a little bit short. Quincy up in the 3rd. Nice shot.
Pretty good shot there.
Quincy Bruce is the guy out of these four that I don't know that much about. Tom, do you know more about Quincy?
Bowled at William Penn. That's about all I know. Been out a couple years, I think.
And once again, your top 4 who are waiting for all of this to unfold are leader Michael Martell, Ryan Zagar, Rob Warren, and Logan Williams. Nice shot from Crummell there.
Is he going at a Dutch pace?
Yeah, both of them are. Striking on opposite lanes. Andy's striking on the left through 3, well, only through 3 frames. He's only thrown 1 shot on the
Andy's striking on the right.
right lane, and Nick on the left. Yes, you're right, John. Thank you. Both guys Dutch through 4, striking on opposite lanes.
I'd make a good doubles team in a Baker match where you switch lanes.
Yeah.
I mean, I know those happen all the time.
Both guys will get to finish on right now. What is their good lane?
Matt trying for a double here to take an early lead. Gets the little crumbler.
Hit him thin, watch him spin, I think is what Peterson says on TV.
Coined originally, I think, with reference to Dick Weber.
Andy getting the first double in the match. See if McNeil can open up his lead here.
Walked right out in front of Crummell there.
Yeah.
So in that situation, is that unsportsmanlike of McNeil to do that, or should Crummell have waited until McNeil finished the shot before he got onto the approach?
If I were Nick, I would not have stepped up there until Matt was done and gone.
I agree 100%.
Oh, the bird dog messenger.
That is not bad sportsmanship. In a situation like this, you got to wait till the other guy's off the approach.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that we are entertainers as well as athletes, and when we're doing this, we need to show some emotion, and we need to make it exciting.
The other thing is to note,
I would expect the other guy to react to a shot, so I'm going to wait until he's done and gone before I'm going to try to claim my space.
part of the reason why they're on top of each other as well, though, is because of us with live streaming. We can only get so far, and in the way the finals are set up here, we need 8 pairs of lanes to conduct the stepladder finals here at this event.
Great shot again from Crummell. That gives him a triple, I believe. A little bit errant there from Quincy.
Quincy needs to figure out that left lane quickly, or he's going to be in a world of hurt.
So he's 20 down right now.
Can Andy strike to even up the match here on what has been his good lane so far? Oh, pretty good shot. Ring
Nice
10.
shot, the solid 10. Folks, while you're listening to us, don't forget that the PBA is on Fox this afternoon right now.
FS1, John.
FS1. do a little multitasking, keep our viewership up for the PBA. Thanks for tuning in with us.
It's amazing how many times that happens when a guy finally gets a strike on the lane that he hasn't been striking on.
Yeah, then you
Throws a
lose
good
the other
shot,
one.
ring a 10. Nick was able to, however, take advantage, struck on his good lane, and then struck on the bad lane, and then struck again on the good lane.
Okay, McNeil, oh, taking a little break. Something happened, he wasn't ready. So Andy's gonna go. That looks pretty good.
Pretty good shot.
Is that a strike or
Nope,
10
10
pin?
pin.
Back-to-back ring 10s. That was the high hard one for McNeil.
Kind of got a big pocket right now.
Yeah.
Carrying the high ones, carrying the light ones, that might be tough to beat. Andy making the spare to keep Kreml honest here.
Yeah. Crummel with a little bit of a lead, like a 10-pin lead in that match, maybe. A triple to a double. McNeil out to a 20-plus pin lead now. Going for 5. Comes in light.
Oh my.
Collapses a bucket, leaves a 9-pin.
That's, some nines are better than others. That's a pretty good 9 there.
That's a really good 9. I was thinking the same exact thing.
He's rehearsing like his leverage wasn't what it should have been there. Oh, that was wide. Carried that light hit.
That light hit's carried, a lot on the right hand.
More often
the
than not,
righties
it
I saw.
seems here, yeah. So that's a 4-bagger for Nick.
I've got Crummel's last shot. Let's take a
Spare
look
for
at it again.
McNeil.
You said that one was a little wide, huh? Yep, got way out there.
Throwing the kinetic amethyst, able to make the turn down lane and get back.
Nick going for a 5-bagger, is it? That's good.
That one was
10
really
back.
good.
And Quincy breaks up the 210. That looked a little firm.
Yeah. Yeah, got a big break there. I'm gonna say Andy's got a strike here. If Andy doesn't strike here, this match is over. Pretty good shot there.
Oh, and he missed the 10-pin.
I think that's pretty much going to put the nail in that coffin there.
Yeah.
I don't think Matt's going to give this match away.
No.
And Quincy can now strike out for 217, and Matt is going on a 220 pace.
230 pace, yeah.
He's pacing 229.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 149 in the 6th.
Quincy making a ball change. This is always going to strike after you miss.
There you
It's
go.
always going to strike. Always going to strike. Always going to strike. I'm going to say my first shot, John, on a ball change, my strike percentage is probably somewhere in the 90s.
Yeah.
Frame 2, it's probably in the 30s. Amazing how that works.
All right, Andy.
I think
let's
Andy's
see what
got this. Got to be. Looked pretty good.
Great shot.
Yep. I'm not looking at the monitor. I'm watching the bowling. So it's kind of, like we're at that tough angle. It's kind of hard to tell. But
yeah.
Andy's got 238. If if Nick doesn't throw a double somewhere in here, he cannot shut Andy out.
Great shot there from Matt.
Yeah, that. I'm going to say that match is probably
I think that one's over.
done and over with.
That looks pretty good.
Oh, scouts the 10. Good.
I like watching messengers. So here's the replay of this. Look at Crummel in front of the ball return. Gets the messenger.
Nick is an amazing talent. He's got a great physical game. When he gets this figured out, he's another guy that I think could win on tour. Ball game there.
Okay,
Matt McNeil's going to advance.
That was a better shot too.
Yep. Leverage was better.
Ball game.
Yep.
There's your winner. It's going to be Matt McNeil against Nick Crummel in basically a 6-man step ladder.
Yep.
Down on lanes 31 and 32. That is what we will have. That'll be a great match too. Those two accomplished players. One guy giving it the outside, smooth, controlled reaction, and the other guy playing in front of the ball return on 2 separate sides of the lanes. Oh,
Not an uncommon circumstance, right-handed to left-handed these days.
Yeah.
Crummel leaves a solid 8. Not really going to matter at this point.
Of course, you leave those when it doesn't matter. I kind of tend to leave those
Sometimes
when it matters.
you do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, I've got 2 shots today. I mean, even with the 150, the solid 8 that was on the live stream pair, and a solid 9 in the last game, that's 42 pins because they were both around
in between strikes there.
And that puts me from 130 to right in the cut.
And Crummel just completely missed the 8-pin.
I think it looked like you grabbed a urethane to go right and see what was there, and
Threw it in the gutter.
threw it right in the gutter.
258 it looks like. So Nick Crummel 258. Andy Mills can still get to 217.
No, he just left a 10 pin. He's already bowled his first ball in the 10th, Mike.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Oh, it is 217. My bad. Sorry. Not paying attention. That's on me.
Then 207.
217, you're right.
Will be a losing match here on 21 and 22. Matt McNeil just striking away. Ball change.
Ball change for
Moved
a test there.
It worked.
We got a 2. So here's an interesting thing. We got 2 guys that just shot 250 to win their matches. Well, what are we going to set the over/under on for total score for this match?
236.
236 doubled, so 472 is what you're going to set it at?
Yeah.
And they're going to what pair down there?
31 and 32.
31 and 32, which was high scoring earlier today.
You got to move some cameras down there?
We will have to do a little bit of a reset, yeah.
Okay.
I'll incorporate the down lane camera too after the first match because it'll have enough juice to be able to do so like we usually do here. Matt McNeil just finishing up here.
All right, so now we basically pretty much have our 6-man stepladder set. It's going to be Matt McNeil taking on Nick Crummel.
And Logan Williams will await the winner of that match. The top 3 waiting in the wings are Michael Marchell, the tournament leader, Ryan Zagar, and Rob Warren.
Yep, and Quincy Bruce, nice tournament. Andy Mills, nice tournament. You guys both receive $800 for finishing in the 7th, 8th position. In just a few moments, we'll be back with our 6-person stepladder. Mike, John, and Tom, be right back. Welcome back to the 2019 Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. We now have our number 5 seed, Nick Crummell, taking on number 10 seed, Mac McNeil, who have survived the elimination bracket, and that's why the 5 versus the 10 seed are advancing. I'm Mike Flanagan from InsideBowling.com, joined in the booth by John Brocklin and Tom Hess as we get started here at the beginning of what would be a 6-man stepladder, with McNeil starting out in the first frame.
7-10.
Guys, this oil pattern's been quite demanding, but fair. We have a lefty versus a righty. Both are just coming off of 250s. One guy was playing in front of the ball return as a right-hander, and the other guy's piping it up the outside part of the lane as a left-hander. So great job to the folks that designed the pattern for this event here at Cadillac XBC in Waterloo, Iowa. And I think we're in for a great match.
I agree.
I agree.
Matt gets a good break, breaking up the 7-10 there on the first shot.
And both guys are wearing a shade of blue. One's a little more aqua than the other. One has some clouds up on their jersey, and Crummell taking more of the traditional polo look. We've got quite a height difference between the two as well. You're going to see Crummell, with the way I have everything built here in the split screen, his head's actually going to be a bit chopped off with the colorful scoreboards up there when he pops up at the end of his shot here. But Crummell in front of the ball return again, just like we saw in bowl 258. We'll see what kind of look he has here on 31 and 32.
Oh, almost a
carried the
solid
9.
9.
Let's go ahead and take one more look at that. Crummell sticks the shot. 9-pin, no thank you. The rest of our afternoon consists of 4 more bowlers. The winner of this match will go on to take on number 4, Logan Williams, the number 4 seed, who actually came in today with the lead and fell to 4th after the cashers round. In 3rd is Rob Warren, a gentleman I don't know a whole lot about. Number 2 is Ryan Zagar, who came from the collegiate ranks, a great young youth bowler, and Michael Martell, the anchor bowler for Robert Morris University. So some youth at the top, guys, as we will proceed through this stepladder today.
Solid 10 there for Nick. All right, good spare.
I would set the over-under on makeable missed spares in this match at 0.5. To those of you that would be an odds maker, at 0.5. Between the two players. Both are excellent spare shooters.
I'll take the under as long as the match still matters.
Okay.
Yep.
True, because, yeah. See, that'd be fun if there was betting on bowling, because you'd have to think about things like that. Is it going to be a close match? I'll take the under. If it's not, I think it's going to be a blowout. You take the over. But then the line would adjust. Here's McNeil up in the 2nd frame on the right lane.
Great shot.
Yep.
Buried it. McNeil recently, a little life change. He got his master's degree, right? It's a master's degree at Wichita State.
An MBA, yeah.
And went on to get a nice job with Target Corporation, but his passion for bowling, he's found himself walking away from that job, and he just recently taken on a new job with Storm Bowling Products. He's the global ambassador for Storm, as he's waiting on a ball return, it looks like right now. But congratulations to Matt, and it's good to have someone that passionate about the game working in bowling instead of Target. So congratulations to the folks at Storm for landing McNeil, and congratulations to Matt on the new opportunity, and hopefully he'll be somebody working within the sport until he retires or chooses to retire. And I know he's still going to competitively bowl some part-time, like he has in the past, and I'm sure he'll continue to go out to the USBC Open Championships and try to add to his bird nest.
He's got the World Series around the corner. He's going to bowl, he said.
While we do have this break in the action, I think it's a great opportunity to talk a little bit about how this event is possible. It wouldn't be possible without the great sponsors we have. We have Fusion Realtors and Community First National Bank are the 2 co-title sponsors. Other sponsors, USA Mortgage, Budweiser, Waterloo Convention and Visitors Bureau, the OP Restaurant, Hampton Inn, Ebonite, and Logo Infusion.
Yeah, we're reminded in the chat about Rob Warren. He bowls on Andy Mills' Nationals USBC Open Championship team and was part of the Eagle winning effort that they had in 2011.
Looking forward to seeing him bowl. Haven't seen him bowl in any stepladder finals in the past, so it'll be good to get a first look at him for me.
Great shot, opening double there for Matt.
Can't throw it much better than that. And those of you that want to model your game with a traditional game and you're left-handed, let's go ahead and take a look at McNeil's last shot on the left lane. Stays down through the shot till about when the ball hits the pins, and the patented McNeil step off with the left hand as the ball goes through the pins. Crummel now in front of the ball return, two completely different styles. Nick is actually starting further left than McNeil, but he's playing the opposite side of the lane. But they're sliding around the same spot.
Their laydown point might be almost identical.
Pretty close, right about that 5 board on the left. Cover the spare after sticking a little bit.
I think he was a little mad. He put a hurting on that one.
Now Nick is choosing to take the professional route and try to compete on the professional tour and try to make a go at it being a professional bowler for a living. He's been bowling this year. And this could be a nice confidence builder today going into the next event.
That looks like a good pitch.
Light shaker.
That's a light hit that's been carrying a lot here this week. That one didn't go.
Do you know if Nick is headed to Jonesboro next week?
I don't know that.
I believe he is.
All right, solid spare shooting.
So Nick having some carry issues now.
Now spares are not going to keep up with McNeil if he keeps striking.
Crummel covering more boards, McNeil going more up at him.
McNeil's doing what he classically does best, is get that ball rolling off his hand and kind of look for a place to trap it or make it freeze down lane. Just like that.
He didn't like it.
No, but it sat there.
What did it look like to you? A little right off his hand?
I think it was a little short in terms of the way it got projected through the front. Just right a little early, and when it was scooching high, it might have been a little bit right.
Crummel's sitting on the bench. He's shaking his head. He's out of camera range, but I'm staring right at him. He's shaking his head. And I think he's probably hoping that McNeil gets 9 here. Otherwise, a strike here, and it's going to make him maybe think about it a little bit more and potentially squeeze or make an errant shot because of the pressure that will be put on him. We'll see.
Yeah, there you go. That was a little more deliberate. A little more authority through the front part of the lane.
Rob Warren is a right-handed bowler.
Yep.
Guys.
Logan Williams is right-handed. Rob is right-handed. Zager is right-handed. Martell's left-handed.
Something to think about as we think about how this plays out the rest of the way.
Where would you rather be playing right now? Would you rather be lofting the gutter cap, or would you rather be throwing it straight down the gutter?
I'd rather be going up 5.
I'd rather be going down the gutter as well.
Yep. Still think the pattern's fair?
Well,
After a whole day of bowling, this is inevitably what happens anymore, though. The right side always migrates more than the left.
here's what I would need to see. I'd need to see Nick Crummel give Purple Pearl Urethane and a Web Tour a chance out and see what his looks like, because he's choosing to be this deep. This is what he wanted to do. He shot 250 the last game doing it. I would have to see how terrible that look is on the right side right now to be able to answer that question.
Yeah, I'm watching the guys over here practice over here on 19 and 20. There looks like they're all playing well. Rob Warren's Very conventional bowler, not a high rev guy. Just gets the job done. He will be
playing the track.
He won't be lofting the gutter. Let's put it that way.
Crummel's got to find strikes.
He made a ball change here. Looks like he's throwing a GB3. Pearl. Oh my God.
On a solid 9. Good grief.
More angular bowling ball down lane.
Oh, yeah, that one clearly.
Trying to get it go through the pins a little bit better, and went through the pins too good. Yay, bowling. The sport where everything is a guess. And sometimes you make the good guess and execute exactly how you want, and it's just not good enough. Kind of an interesting score up there. Strike 4-bagger.
Yeah, what has already happened, folks, in this modified stepladder format is that the 7th seed bowled the 10 seed and the 8 seed bowled the 9 seed. The winner of each of those matches bowled the 5 seed and the 6 seed, and this is the combination of the winner of that match. So McNeil is identified in your oh, that was soft.
Yeah, throughout the entire finals here, he will be the number 10 seed.
Yeah, he's
You'll see that
identified
number next to him.
He's identified as the 10 seed because that's what he was originally when the modified stepladder began.
All right, covers the spare, and Tom, like you were, the point you were making, it was an interesting score with the strike and then spares and then a spare and then strikes.
Yep.
So let's paint the story here. So possible 268 for Matt McNeil, 236 for Nick Crummel.
Let's see if Matt gets this through the front a little bit more aggressively than the last couple shots on the right lane.
All right, now we'll carry issues for McNeil here.
I still say that Nick is in a must-strike situation. I think he's got to throw a double these next two shots to make Matt even think about it.
Yeah, I don't think Matt's going to give anything back.
No.
Unless he, some kind of a pocket split or something.
Good job this weekend, guys. Thanks for coming as always.
All right. Matt picks the 7-pin. He's pacing 220. Nick is still pacing 190. Nick has to start striking.
236 left here.
I had this for one game.
Come on, Nick, bowl me a 236. That was a number I called out ahead of time.
There you go. Be a pretty impressive 236. Staying with the GB3, Pearl.
Didn't like it,
And
which
of
means
course-
it'll strike.
And of course it strikes.
Yeah, that was a little bit of, there's footing issues to be dealt with on the exterior parts of the approach.
What I like about Crummel compared to some of the Hall of Famers that have been discussed this week with the Flow Bowling clip is when Crummel checks the approach, it's when he strikes instead of doing something bad. If you're a Flow Bowling subscriber, you understand what that is. If you're not a Flow Bowling subscriber, I suggest you get out and you support those guys as well and go check out that clip. Last time Crummel was over on this lane, he made this ball change and ran over the rack for the 9-pin. Let's see if the pins cooperate this time.
Looks like he's moved even a little deeper. And you can't get the 10 out. Man. It's a well bowl game that's producing not much.
Yeah. Yep. You know, to go back to your Flow Bowling, Mike, what people need to also realize is there's like 30 other sports that you get with your subscription to that.
Yeah, there's flow swimming, flow flow, all kinds of things.
Yeah, there's wrestling. There's there's numerous other niche sports that make that a really great deal, you know, for bowling fans that also enjoy other things. And if I was any good at this, I'd know what they have.
Oh, they have a ton. It's too many to list. It's like 20 sports.
That was better through the front part of the lane.
Good shot for McNeil.
Yep.
Don't forget the winner of this match goes on to take on number 4 seed Logan Williams. And the players will move pairs after every game. We'll move over to lanes 29 and 30. The following match will be on lanes 27 and 28, following on 25 and 6. And our championship match will take place on lanes 23 and 24 here at Cadillac XBC. We're glad you're with us this afternoon.
All right, McNeil looking to extend his lead here. That looked like it was a little down and a little early, but it sat there. Also, folks, don't forget that the PBA is on FS1 this afternoon. Viewership matters. Support bowling wherever you can. Do a little multitasking, multi-screening.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are here in the bowling center.
When you don't really have to throw it for the cheese anymore.
That's a little bit of frustration right there, I think.
Yeah.
So the spare shot off of the gutter to maybe answer your question, ran Brooklyn. Not that he was trying to line up to hit the pocket, but.
Oh,
so I would say
been there all day.
If Nick thought there was something on the gutter, he would have tried the gutter rather than the high hard one up the middle.
I don't know.
Or do you think he just thinks this is over and I need to get out of here?
I wasn't paying attention. Did he try any on the gutter in the 6 practice shots he got? Did anybody pay attention?
I did not see.
I think he just bowled 250 in front of the ball return down here, and I think he was just pretty much like, I got a good look. I mean, he hit the pocket every time. He just had bad carry.
Uh-oh.
One thing that I'm surprised of, though, is that I didn't realize Nick could throw it that hard down the lane. A couple of those 10 pins that he's thrown at were the hardest sounding 10 pin hits I've heard in a long time.
Here's our half. Here's our over-under. Is he gonna make the spare?
McNeil just getting out of the way now, finishing up.
Yeah, ball change for a test.
Oh. But I had the caveat. Didn't matter.
You did.
Didn't matter. That might be one of the best bowled 191 games that was bowled this week.
Yep.
I had a couple of those. Doherty got a double to win on TV here, bowling on the short lane.
Over him a lot.
Yep.
So McNeil just bowled 258 down on lanes 21 and 22.
Oh no, he doesn't.
And now he's going to bowl 250 here, down here on lanes 31 and 32.
A little prediction from Nostradamus Flanagan.
What's that?
You said he's going to bowl 250 on 29 and 30.
Oh, no, he bowled it on 21 and 2, and he bowled it on 31 and 32. So we'll see.
I thought you
if
said he's going to bowl.
No,
you didn't?
No, I'm just thinking, you know, he bowls 250, 250. What's he going to bowl the next game? Well, we're going to find out here in just a few minutes here on Inside Bowling. We'll be back in a minute with the next match, which will be Matt McNeil taking on Logan Williams.
more shot.
Yeah, I think so too. One more shot on each lane. Looks like we're gonna have an inside deep, steep angle again from a
Yep.
right-hander.
Yep.
Welcome in all of our viewers. We'll get started with match number 2 here. Just a moment. Okay, we are all set. The players are shaking hands, and we are now moving on our stepladder. We have the number 4 seed, Logan Williams, taking on the number 10 seed, Matt McNeil, who's made it out of the bracket and has just defeated Nick Crummel. Matt's averaging a cool 250 or so on the last couple of games. Is going to continue to, I assume, use the same ball and play outside. He does have another ball that he can move in a little bit with that he's tested on a couple of fill shots and has gotten strikes with. And Logan Williams, from what we've seen in practice, guys, he's going to play deep inside angle, right-hander versus left-hander right here as we move into this match.
Yeah, it looked good off his hand. Solid 7.
Isn't that how he started the last match?
Yes, it was.
It was. Yeah, I know it was 9 spare. I didn't remember it was a 7 pin, but yeah.
Switching balls.
Covers the spare. Clean start to settle into the match.
So here's the guy that led the tournament after all of qualifying. All 3 squads, Logan Williams.
On a re-entry, took very took big advantage of that.
Playing deep inside and starts with a strike. Let's take a look at that shot one more time. Right up against the ball return. Snaps through it, down through the pins. Looks pretty good.
He's not quite as deep as Nick Crummel was, but he's also got a little more ball speed, so we'll see if that helps his carry any. Nick struggled to get 10 pins to fall down last game on a very well bowled game. That shot was as deep as Nick is, and that sparked high.
Yeah, and you heard his shoe make that sharp squeak noise.
Yeah, unless my angle was wrong. It looks like he's several boards deeper on the left lane than the right lane.
Tom, do you know much about Logan?
Other than he bowls for Robert Morris, no.
I don't know much about Logan either.
He is currently on the Robert Morris team, though. So we got 2 of the Robert Morris team in the
Final 4?
Final 4, and a Robert Morris alum as well.
Yeah, top seed Michael
spare.
Martell is the anchor bowler for Robert Morris. He's our top seed, as I said. Ryan Zagar went to Robert Morris. He's the number 2 seed. Rob Warren is up next as the 3 seed. And Logan Williams here goes to Robert Morris currently. And now here's the ex-Shocker or Shocker alum, McNeil.
That was errant.
Inside a target, definitely doesn't like that one.
Two 8 spare, a little easier for a left-hander today, I would think, than for a righty.
Yeah. All right, covers it unorthodox spare, and there's McNeil doing the typical McNeil run out.
Did not look like he for sure thought he had that.
This is interesting, you know, coming off of, you know, averaging 250 the last 2 games through 2 frames now. McNeil, 9 count and an 8 count, so no strikes for McNeil. It's just a 2-pin match right now through 2 frames. McNeil is starting so far left. If you look here on the screen, you can barely even see him. He's half on.
Yeah, his first 2 steps go directly to the right. Crumbled the right side of the lane for a first strike of the match.
That strike's been carrying really good for Matt so far here in the finals.
Matt's first strike. We'll look at it again.
You know, you mentioned earlier that Matt went to Wichita State to try to work on his mechanics, bowling-wise, in part. Part of what he was trying to do was straighten out that approach, and after working at it, got frustrated enough to decide that what came naturally to him ought to be left alone. So he went back to what he was doing before.
Logan Williams answers with a strike, so he struck both times on the right lane. We'll see if Logan can get a double here on lanes 29 and 30. And let McNeil feel a little bit of pressure, or at least be staring up at his opponents having a lead with them, which has not happened in the last couple matches. We've got a great chat going on here, and here in the chat, Tanner writes in and says, Logan is from Alaska, attended Iowa Central Community College, and currently attends Robert Morris. Thanks for the insight there.
Yeah, Greg Larabelle has said the same thing.
We do appreciate everybody that is watching today and has been with us all weekend here on InsideBowling.com. Don't forget, you can head over to our store and save 15% with coupon code YouTube. We also have a sale going through the end of today, $5 ball cups, $5 hammer dog collars. And yes, that's right, hammer dog collars. We have hammer dog collars, and Logan covers the spare. So now McNeil gets going here now in the 4th, looking for his first double and a lead.
That looked good off his hand. Oh, solid 7.
With a conversion, it'll still be a 2-pin match. We talked about Logo Infusion being one of the sponsors of this event. You can head over to logoinfusion.com, and being a title sponsor of the Greater Iowa Bowling Association, you can save 20% with GIBA 2019 is the code, GIBA 2019 with Logo Infusion.
If you're listening, please go over and if you're thinking about a jersey, please use that code. That's how they track to decide to see what events they're going to keep sponsoring. They track those coupon codes and see if that's help generating sales. All the bowlers that bowl the GIBAs would greatly appreciate that.
And if you want to find out more information about the Greater Iowa Bowling Association, you can find that out at giba-bowling.com. Wow, back-to-back
Another
sevens.
solid 7.
Looks like he might have hit that pair that he's gonna fight the carry.
Yeah,
where
that's-
everything carried every time he was close on the other 2 pairs.
That's 3 of those this game.
You know, in his hip pocket, he's got that ball change where he can move in, shape it a little bit more. We'll see if he elects to do that. But I think in a tight match against Logan right now, he's probably going to just continue to do what he's been doing, hitting the 1-2 and taking his chances and making spares.
Well, and trying to curve the pattern on the left, Matt was saying earlier, was a second resort because it was too unpredictable for him in terms of controlling his break point down lane. So you're right. Unless, as long as this match is tight, I think he's going to do with what seems the more reliable.
not a good shot whatsoever
Yeah.
by Logan.
That didn't get projected off his hand very well. There's an opening.
Yep, which is going to just absolutely play right into McNeil's lap and just pounding the 1-2 over and over again. Hey, guys, just want to let you know, too, fifth place today receives $1,100. Nick Crummell took home $900 for his sixth place finish. Fourth place, $1,300. Third place, $1,500. Second place, $2,100. And the champion takes home $3,000 today. It was a $160 entry fee, 180 entries.
196.
196, okay.
Better shot.
Mm-hmm. That's the carry issue, though, from that deep inside line. Even with guys with a lot of hand, we saw this Crummell have the same struggle last game. Going against a lefty in a situation like that, when you're deep in the middle of the lane, you kind of want to stomp on them when they're not carrying, and then when you can't, it's all the more frustrating, you know?
Ooh, got a little break there.
He just said that's a double. He does have quite a college group behind him cheering him on. You know, I haven't seen any sign of out here, unless I just haven't seen him. He is a bit of a shorter stature there.
He's
but,
down there. He's
Michael
just not
Martell.
practicing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got his coat and his backpack on.
So here's McNeil now up on the right lane.
That looks pretty good. Another 7-pin.
Another 7-pin. He's just hanging around in this match. He's just hanging around. Still only 9 pins. If I'm Logan Williams, I'm thinking to myself, all right, Mr. 250 doesn't have 250 on this pair. It's going to be important for him to gather his thoughts and make some good shots if he's going to have any chance to take down Matt McNeil. Just a reminder, this is the 15th edition of the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. Matt McNeil actually started this whole thing back in September of 2011. He was the very first champion of this newfound event. I know Joe and his family are really proud of what this thing's become. I'm not so sure, Tom, you or I, who were at that event, that if we'd have known that it was going to keep going to 15 of them.
You know, when you have a great sponsor that really cares about the entries and the entrance, excuse me, not the entries, but the entrance, and puts forward the work that they do.
That little 7 got out of there.
People are going to show up and support it.
So McNeil back on the strike wagon. 9-pin match if Logan strikes here. Possible 227 for Logan if he strikes out, and McNeil can bowl 236.
Pretty good shot there.
Take a look at it again.
See if you move just a little bit left, tries to get just a little bit softer with it to come around the corner a little bit, kick the 10 out here on this lane.
Did look a little bit deeper, Tom.
Oh,
It did look a little bit deeper.
Let's take a look at it one more time.
Started a corner and it went forward on him instead of sideways.
yeah. When you get that far left, that's
Yep.
when you get that far left and you've got all the free hook in the world to the right, you can do that. But when you got to get that far left and it's not absolute free hook to the right, it's a little bit tougher to get the ball to go through the pins over there.
Oh, that's a.
And there's a gift wrap.
That is a gift wrap. You're right. Well put.
Cannot do that against the caliber of a Matt McNeil and expect to win the game.
Coming up in the next match, we'll see the number 3 seed Rob Warren. Snack bar orders ready.
Ding. Fries are ready.
There's a double. Add a little emphasis to the closed door. That one looks good too.
He yelled at it too. Can opener. So Matt McNeil is going to defeat Logan Williams. Logan Williams will finish 5th. As I mentioned, 5th place will receive $1,100.
Still a pretty solid weekend.
Absolutely.
And the 10 seed continues to climb.
Having begun the day in 65th.
Wasn't sure he was going to make the cut. Made it in by 1. Said if he didn't make the cut by a pin, he probably needed to hang it up and retire, and he might go on to win the tournament. From the Hampton Inn lobby
That was a little morning coffee melodrama.
to lanes
Which
23
is
and 24 potentially.
Not together unusual for Matt. We like him. Love him.
I like that retirement talk.
But it's the truth.
The one guy that should probably be talking about it the most isn't, and that's John.
Yeah. My body might force me if I keep this up.
So not the performance Logan was looking for, but still a great tournament. Certainly a name I'll continue to watch for in future upcoming live streams when he comes through the pairs. He's proven that he's a player, and I'll keep an eye on his collegiate career as well. Anybody that's watching from home, you got a great young man there, and you should be proud of how he bowled here this week. And McNeil just crumbled everything out on his last shot over there.
Absolutely solid weekend for the young guy. And we are multitasking here. We hope you are too in terms of watching the PBA on FS1. Wes Malott needs 3 in the 10th to shut out or to beat Norm Duke by 1 in the semifinal match.
That's going to do it for our match here, though. We're going to have Matt McNeil moves up the step ladder, going to take on Rob Warren here in the next match here on Inside Bowling. We'll be right back.
Oh.
All right, we continue on here. Now we have our number 3 seed, Rob Warren, taking on Matt McNeil, our number 10 seed. You've seen him mulling through the field. We'll see if Rob Warren can give him anything here. We're going to see a little bit of a straighter angle, a little straighter attack from the right side of the lane out of Rob. And Mike and John back with you. And we anticipate Mr. Hess will be joining us at some point. We get started here in the first frame.
Good shot. Solid start.
He likes his look. He likes his look. He came back. He looked at his buddies. Andy Mills and him are good buddies. They're you were saying, John, they've won Eagles together?
Yeah, all part of the USBC Open Championships team event Eagle winners in 2011 in Baton Rouge.
Not easy to do.
Not at all. Part of the lacrosse contingent from Wisconsin, I believe. Yeah, wasn't too sure about that one.
Read a little bit earlier.
Yep. He's trying to finesse that IQ Tour solid to get it to trap down lane, and sometimes that ball can be a little early if you're not careful.
McNeil has yet to strike since we moved to the 6-person stepladder in the first frame through 3 matches. He has not struck yet, and that continues here.
Yeah, it was a blower 10, almost a 7-10 the first match, a ring 7 last time, and now a 6-pin.
All shots right around the 1-2, though.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, he liked it. We'll see how many strikes Warren can start with here. Like I said, I don't know a lot about Rob other than what he's done at the Open Championships. He hasn't made a lot of finals in any of the events that I've put together, or I also haven't even seen him competing at other ones. But he starts with a double here.
First time I've seen him actually bowl live. This game is uncomplicated.
Let's take a look at that shot again. Very simple game.
Yep. Appears to be a good shot maker. That was what was required this weekend. Yeah, something of a super old school push away. You know how some of those old videos you see the guy, that you lose their face from the front, you know, when they push the ball away?
I think it's what the left hand does. Watch the left hand. Stays
Yeah.
out there. Starts with a triple.
Another front 3. This is the first time really that Matt's had some pressure put on him early in a game in this stepladder, so we'll see how he responds here.
Yeah, I think another way to put what you're trying to say here, John, is Crummell was hitting the 1-3 with no problem.
Oh,
but he couldn't carry.
Absolutely.
And so therefore no pressure, like you said.
Right.
But in this particular case, we got another guy who's hitting the 1-3 on the right side. But this time he's got three strikes up there, 3 hammers.
Matt responds.
This might be 500, 520 total between the two if they keep this up.
It could be. It could be. We'll learn a lot about Rob's gut here, because I don't think Matt's going to back off and give him anything. So it'll be kind of who blinks first, maybe. That looked pretty good too.
Sends them left to right. I wish I was a little wider out, but you couldn't see the You wouldn't be able to see the pins as well if I had a wider angle here, but Matt was a little animated there with his slap out.
A little slap out on the 10. Rob going for 4. Oh,
Fast
fast 8, yeah.
4-7.
Spare cover.
Suddenly McNeil now has a lead in the match.
Looks pretty good.
They're excited back
And the
there.
Wisconsinites go wild. We got a little power of cheese going on back
Yeah,
here.
we had 2 people saying yay. You can actually see them off to the right side of your screen back there.
Yeah,
You
there they
see
are.
Nick Heilman
Andy
and
and Nick
Andy.
and that looked pretty good off his hand. Yep.
That was a good one. Let's go ahead and play that one back. Let's take a look at Matt.
For all
2
of
steps to the right.
for all of Matt's protests early this morning about not being sharp and all that, I think he's feeling it. I think whatever touch he didn't feel like he had, he's got back.
Well, he's had a great Sunday. I mean, to go from 16 over, make it in as the 10 seed, nothing to lose.
Well, true. And for a top caliber player, when your mechanics are good and you know your game, it doesn't take too terribly long to fall back into rhythm.
And with the PBA bowling this week, Matt may not have made the top 10 with some of the guys that bowl on the tour that elected not to bowl this event this time. So
That's true. That's solid there.
he knows he's taking advantage of a great opportunity right now. So, but we've got a great match here, John. It's a tight match still.
Ooh. It is. Good match. It's not over by any stretch.
Max score 290, max score 278. And that's kind of what happens once you get down to the top 3, top 4 bowlers. These last couple of matches are usually higher scoring. You see less spare shooting being missed.
Yeah,
Spares being missed.
You're watching the people that solve the puzzle the best all weekend long. That looks pretty good. Great shot.
Simple game, and it's working.
Mm-hmm.
That was for Rob. The whole bar.
All right. Strike here to put some pressure back on Matt. Keep him honest for the next few frames. That looks pretty good.
Wow, I'm really impressed with this guy's
It's
game.
solid and stoic. Doesn't seem to be fazed by the situation at all. Hanging in there, making good shots, doing what he needs to do. Can't ask for anything more.
Also, if you're just joining us, the winner of this match will go on to take on our number 2 seed, Ryan Zagar. And the winner of that match will go on to take on our top seed, Michael Martell. Both players either attended or are currently attending Robert Morris University. Made the trip over from Chicago. Matt asking the ball to hurry.
It did what he needed it to do.
It's a 12-pin match through 7 frames here. Very high scoring.
Matt taking a little extra time here. Getting himself focused. Yeah, that held nicely.
Wow.
If you noticed, he's a little bit further back on the approach on the left lane than he is on the right lane, almost a foot. It might be part of the way he's trying to control his ball speed, depending upon what he sees going on down lane. All right, everything is back in the hands of Mr. Rob. That looked a little wide.
Oh, and it
came
did.
back. A little bit wide at the break point, but came back.
I want to thank all 400 viewers that are watching here today with us. We know you're probably not only watching bowling here with us, but you're also probably watching the PBA Tour this afternoon, as they do have a live show going on simultaneously. They're in their championship match right now. It's Jason Belmonte versus Norm Duke for the title. They're about halfway through that match.
Well, a little more hand in that one. Boy, it held. Thought maybe it hit up on that one, but it sat right there.
Well, he did exactly what he needs to do. Striking in the 8th and 9th frame. He's still
Absolutely.
got a max score of 278. McNeil now is going to have to go up and double, if my math is correct. He's going to have to throw a double to shut him out, right?
Well, let's see. Rob's got 278 left. If he's pacing 290, yeah.
If McNeil,
No, to shut him out, he's got 290 left. So to shut him out, he needs 3. Well, a double and 9 spare. That was a little more firm. Oh, that was
and the 7 stands. So
trying to
now,
fall. Matt didn't like that one.
now Rob Warren cannot be shut out.
That shot looked a little like it was a little bit firm, but it also looked like he shut his shoulder down a little bit quickly. Might not have gotten through the front part as well. It's a little bit hard to tell where it's sitting off to the side. Okay.
McNeil covers the spare.
So advantage Rob Warren now.
Yeah, max score 269. Matt McNeil. Max score Rob Warren 278. Matt McNeil is going to force Rob Warren to have to, if he strikes out, he'll have to go up and throw 2 strikes in the 10th frame to advance.
It's been a very good match.
First shot in the 10th for McNeil.
Yeah, that's
10
a good
back.
one.
You knew that was coming. Only thing he's fighting is a little bit of pin carry out there, and gets the first one in the 10th. That's got to feel good. Matt now in the 250s.
Matt
asking to
didn't
get
like that
lucky.
one off his hand. It kind of his wrist position kind of collapsed at the bottom there.
So he's going to bowl 250 again.
Again,
So Rob Warren, let's figure this out. Even he
Matt's going to have 259 with a spare here. The spare is important.
Rob's got to
That
strike.
forces Rob to strike.
Yep, Rob Warren's got to have a strike. Ryan Zagar has been practicing. Michael Martell is now practicing. Those are our next two players up. Rob Warren must strike on this ball to have a chance to move on.
Oh my. And he carried it. A little footing problem at the line, and he carried the strike.
Let's watch it one more time and see if we can pick this apart. Stumbles, but gets away with it.
Yeah. You know, sometimes when you have a simple game, it's to your advantage because stuff like that happens and your arm swing doesn't get out of whack. Ball goes where it needs to go.
Rob Warren waiting on a ball return. Looks like it just came back.
Very well bowled game by Rob Warren.
Both of these guys.
Yes, by both. So Matt McNeil finishes fourth.
Yep, Matt's going to take home $1,300 for his fourth place finish. Rob Warren's going to go on to take on Ryan Zagar. And that's going to do it for this match. It was one of the better ones we've seen here.
Absolutely, that was the tightest match of the step ladder so far.
When we come back, we will have Rob Warren, the 3 seed, taking on the 2 seed, Ryan Zagar, here in just a moment. All right, all those matches prior to this really don't matter because it's the 3 seed against the 2 seed. Ryan Zagar against Rob Warren coming up here. Rob Warren's going to start the match on the left lane. He will start and finish the match. And we're going to see this down and in style again, John.
Yeah, and this is the case because Ryan Zagar has elected for it to be this way. So that tells us that Ryan either wants to finish the match first or Ryan likes the left lane better. Another solid strike from Rob to open the match. As you said, these remaining 3 guys are the guys that led the weekend, so it's fitting that it's come down to them. Ryan clearly more hand than Rob, but they're both playing pretty direct up the outside.
Earlier, Hess made the comment about, McNeil playing out and Crummell not playing out, and who knows if there's anything out. Well, Zagar is going to show us. And that looks extremely similar to what McNeil was doing.
Yep.
Hitting the 1-3 or the 1-2, depending on what side of the lane you're on. And you're going to ramp some corner pins with firm ball speed. With the ball, it doesn't do it a whole lot. So I'm anxious to see how this pans out. I mean, there's 2 guys going
I'm not
straighter.
sure what ball that is that
I believe it's the Motives.
Motives urethane?
Yes.
I figured it was some sort of urethane because with Ryan's hand, I don't think anybody with that much hand would be able to throw reactive up the outside and have it just sit there. It'd be a little bit too hard to control. That was in. First errant shot we've seen from Rob, really. His only non-strike last game was a fast 8. And a tough spare. 3-9-10. First crack in the armor. See if he bounces back.
Once again, this wouldn't be possible without our great sponsors: Fusion Realtors, Community First National Bank, USA Mortgage, Budweiser, Waterloo Convention and Visitors Bureau, the OP Restaurant, Hampton Inn, Ebonite, and Logo Infusion.
Gave that one more room. Didn't get all the way back to be effective enough.
You know, I'm interested. I'm this pattern. I almost want to get a graph of it and be able to have it in my archives, because to be able to see guys be able to play out and in a stepladder final throughout what we've seen is pretty cool. I mean, you really could go either way. Straighter has been greater today.
For sure. And likewise most of the weekend, I think.
And Martell is going to play straight with urethane.
With urethane.
On the left side of the lane in the final. We already know that.
Yeah. And Joe does have a graph over there on the squad room table. If you haven't been watching all weekend, folks, it's 38 feet in length. 27.6 mils, all collapses the 810. And 2.06 to 1 ratio outside to center. What you're seeing them bowl on right now has had 6 games of traffic on it already earlier from a field of 66 bowlers in the Cashers round over 6 games. There was no re-oil before the step ladder started. It's a good start.
I don't know if Tom's watching on the way home or not, but if he is, we're getting a look at what urethane from out looks like on the right side.
Mm-hmm. At least in one person's hands. That was better.
.22 pen match from a max score standpoint. Lead champion asking what's Zagar's ball speed. It's got to be approaching 20 miles an hour. 19 at least.
It's pretty firm for sure. Yeah, it looked pretty good. Nice shot from Rob.
Dig, baby.
That was
Perfect.
darn good.
Let's take a look at that one more time. Zagar on the right lane, throwing that urethane ball down until the ball hits the pins. It's an old school approach with a new school
Game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Which just shows you how talented these young guys are. A lot of people like to say that these young guys with a lot of hand can only do one thing, and that's just not true, especially for these guys that have been through college programs. Great shot.
The other thing is he's been sitting for a long time. Both of these guys have been sitting,
It's true.
waiting to bowl.
I don't think that bothers young people as much as it does us old guys.
Rob Warren knows
Good.
he's going to have to do a substantial amount of striking to be able to potentially win this match against Zagar.
Yeah, he's behind the 8 ball already, and it's only the 5th frame. That looks pretty good. His disposition is really impressive, you know. He never gets ruffled or rattled.
Yeah, he's kind of like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. Thanks for noticing me.
Be awesome to have this one. Throw a little pressure back the other direction. Oh, good shot. Digs that 10 out.
And his buddy's back
We've got
here.
a chorus of Wisconsinites back here in the back. All right. That was even a little wide of the last one on that lane, and it recovered. I think Mr. Zagar is going to be very difficult to beat. Yep. Great shot. All right, Rob, see how Rob answers. That's well thrown. Yep.
Okay.
Boy, but for a little stumble earlier this game in the second frame, he has been rock solid.
So we got a max score of 280, max score of 258, 22 pin difference. Rob Warren just needs to go up, throw a strike here on lane 25, and see what happens.
Yeah, you keep doing what you're doing and make the other guy continue. Wait for an opening and hope you get one. Good shot.
Oh, dig, baby. Cool, Mandy. Got his action? No. No. I'm just a big fan. No. I'm a big fan. This is my Valentine. That's right. You did.
All right. Ryan's got an opportunity to close the door. See if he does it.
Push.
Yeah, that was
Oh my.
that was left to target. He's been in the 3-4 range the whole game, and that was 4.5 to 5 at the Euros.
So we got the possible 258 for Warren. Zagar spares
Possible
this.
259. 3 in the 10th will shut Rob out. Correct?
Yep, it's got to have them all. So just like that, you thought Zagar was...
So yeah, we're at a point now. Whatever Ryan does, he forces Rob to do, and if he gets the third one, Rob has no chance.
Zagar's taking a re-rack.
I mean, I got my strike, but I didn't win, so what's the matter?
The headpin looks like it's sitting a little bit to the right. These are the kind of situations you practice for. be able to step up and perform.
First one. Couldn't have thrown any better than that.
Yep. That's what you aim to be able to do. Stand up, perform, close the door so the other guy has nothing to say about it.
If he goes strike 9, we have a possibility of a tie.
We do, Bo.
Got the most viewers we've had all weekend. Thanks for joining us here on Inside Bowling. Mike Flanagan, John Brocken with you here in the 10th frame of the semifinal match.
Good shot.
Let's go back and take a look at that one more time. Down and through it.
Yeah, he extended a little bit more through that one. Looked like he was a little bit doubtful about getting that 10 out, but he did.
This is the pair that they will move to. Just a random shot here. We took the replay too, just to let you know we're ready. We're ready for the championship pair. Back over to this pair.
And the championship pair is ready for them.
Strike here. Zagar advances. Anything less? Match isn't over.
Yep.
And that's it. 259. He's going to advance to the championship match. Needed them all. Got them all. It was a well-bowled game. Quite a bit of emotion here out of Ryan Zagar. But, hey, I got to tell you, Rob Warren, great bowling. He's going to finish third.
He basically only threw one bad shot in 2 games.
$1,500 for Rob Warren. So it's going to be a battle of Robert Morris University, an alum versus a current anchor bowler. Michael Martell versus Ryan Zagar coming up. Lefty versus righty again. And we'll have the championship match here in just a moment here on Inside Bowling. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the championship match of the 2019 Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. Mike Flanagan and John Brocklin here to bring you the final competitive match that we have here this weekend. We've been here since Saturday morning at 9 a.m. It is now Sunday at about 4:30. We've got our championship match, and ironically, it's the number 1 seed Michael Martell, who we knew would make it to this match. But with 9 other competitors having the opportunity to get here, it is the number 2 seed Ryan Zagar is going to be his opponent, and he gets us started here on the left lane.
Ironically, but fittingly. Oh, and the first errant shot we've seen Ryan Zagar throw. Starts the match with a 4-6-7. Not the way you want to begin. Get yourself 2. Try to bounce it around, see what happens. Hope you get lucky. And
he needs a
a
ball.
ball return.
Calling it to the back. Another great opportunity to thank all the sponsors that we have here: Fusion Realtors, Community First National Bank, USA Mortgage, Budweiser, Waterloo Convention and Visitors Bureau, the OP Restaurant, Hampton Inn, Ebonite, and Logo Infusion. Martell, the left-hander, who he'll be bowling against, is no stranger to our live streams here in Waterloo, Iowa, whether it be at Maple Lanes or here at Cadillac XBC, as Zagar is still waiting for a ball return here. Martell, the most consistent bowler of the tournament. Both players should be using urethane from the outside part of the lane, which has become quite a trend here in bowling in the recent past few years, whenever there's short oil or an opportunity to play outside.
Give it a go. All right. Our first look in the step ladder at Mr. Martell. True to form for the weekend, this will be urethane. Up about 5. Very similar line to what you saw Matt McNeil playing in earlier matches, although Matt was not using urethane.
Martell, a very deliberate player.
We also have a little bit of animation versus a little bit of stoicism here. Tripped out the 3. That made that spare a lot easier for sure.
We saw Martell Bowl game number 5 today in the Cashers round right here on lanes 23 and 24. And I believe the score he put up was in the 230s, if my memory serves us right. Covers the spare. So no strikes through a frame. We got an open and a spare. I want to thank Joe Engelkiss, his entire family, and everyone that works so hard to put on these Fusion Realtor Community First National Bank Open tournaments. Greater Iowa Bowling Association is the group that they run. They have more tournaments than just the Fusions. If you want to check out all the information that they have and all the events that they run, head over to giba-bowling.com and you'll find out all that information. Their son Greg updates the website quite regularly, and they have events going on all the time. Martell up in the second frame on lane 23 championship match. We have our first strike of the match on the board, and it comes to Martell. And we have a Deadwood on lane 23. Looks like that somebody's on that. Take a look at how far right Zager's setting up.
We had a call back in the back for that Deadwood on 23 that we could hear out here.
Yeah, and he's going to take a re-rack.
I was trying to take a little break.
That wouldn't have bothered anybody through the week, but because somebody coughs, you're going to hear it right now.
Yeah, because it's otherwise very quiet in here.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of open play going down on the other end, but they're not really making much sound.
To the point now that we even have to be aware of us potentially being a distraction.
Correct. Transition into golf voice.
We'll see if, nobody will be able to hear us because our soundboard's low anyway, so we have to talk as loud as we do. But it'll be interesting to see if he remembers to hit the re-rack button the second time, and he does. Congratulations, Ryan. You remembered to hit the button twice. I was worried about that. I wasn't sure if it was going to get on first ball again, but it is. And here we go now.
Good shot. Oh. Wow. I thought that was a good shot, and so did he. But it checked really early. Just past the arrows, that ball started to take off. Was a couple boards in from where he had been playing on the previous pair, but it also looked like he had started a little bit deeper. And it just took off. Digging himself a little bit of a hole here. Gave that little one a little bit more, try to get it down the lane.
Yeah, I wonder if he moved a little left.
I think he moved his feet in after that first shot.
Yeah.
And now I think we're seeing what happens when urethane runs out of its time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he
Because
just.
that one, I think he tried to stay where he was the first frame and projected further down the lane, and it went right through everything. It was certainly firmer through the front than the first shot in the first. The one over here on the right-hand lane, it looked to me like his feet were a little bit left, and he tried to circle it a little bit and a little bit deeper than 3 board where he was. It was more like 5-6, and the ball checked right at the right past the arrows. Be interesting to see what he does next, actually. Michael can put the hammer down here. And he does.
Let's go ahead and watch that shot again. We'll take a look at Martel from behind. Down and through it. He knew it was good off his hand. Very deliberate. Extremely deliberate.
Looks good. Yeah.
So a spare triple to start the match for Martel, and Zagar opens with 3 opens. So Zagar's got to definitely, I mean,
He's got to find something.
He's
He's got to pull a rabbit out of a hat here.
I think he just needs to move back to the right and throw it harder. Maybe give it a little bit of loft. It's reading a little early. I don't think moving in's the right answer.
Yeah, the shot on the left-hand lane in the third, it looked like he tried to force it through the front, and it never read well enough. There it is. That was a little bit back to the right. That was around 4, if my eyes are right. Got through it well. Was not quite as up the back with that one either. Maybe that's why he didn't check as early. Yeah, that's a nice bounce back after 3 opens.
Now here's Martel. He can pretty much, I mean, he's got control of the match right now, but 5th and 6th are important frames for him.
Just doing what he's doing. What he's been doing all weekend.
Another strike for Michael Martel, and he is cruising through this championship match. It's the 15th edition of the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. Have another one coming up in September. Make sure you reserve your spots ahead of time. Joe starts opening up the entries for that in around June, I believe it is. And you can check out their website, as I mentioned earlier. And a 7-pin for Martel. And those of you that are in the chat,
Quality shot.
when I talked about the deliberacy of Martel, and I talked about it the last time he was on our broadcast, you have 30 seconds on the PBA Tour from the time that your bowling ball comes to a rest onto the ball return until you release the ball. And that last shot was 1:02. So that would be a double shot clock violation on the PBA Tour. So I believe this guy has the ability to go on to be a champion on the PBA Tour. It's early. He's 21 years old. I really like not only the way that he bowls, but I like his composure. But he's going to have to clean this up.
Yeah, probably sooner rather than later, too, because once you develop a sense of rhythm about your game, it's hard to develop a new rhythm, you know? And that pre-shot routine is crucial, particularly when you're in the middle of major pressure.
Yeah, and I know in college it's not as slow because I've watched him bowl some events in college, and this just may be something that he's most comfortable with in a singles event. But if he ever does want to take his game to the next level where they do have shot clocks and things like that, it could become quite a distraction.
And you never want to get in the position where people start accusing you of stalling and trying to ice out your opponent and all that kind of stuff. You want to... Oh, that was in just a little bit, and it held. I thought that was going to check like the one in the third.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure.
Or the one in the second, I mean.
I mean, I can't really tell from here with my eyes on whether or not it was in or not, but you can tell it's just a ball picked up earlier.
Yeah.
So I
And
think the front part of the lane hooks more.
Yeah, that's the lane that he had the Greek church on in the second. The ball did basically the same thing in the same place. I think he's getting around it early a little bit, which with urethane will make it scoot. That's a good shot, yeah.
So after 3 straight opens, he's got 4 in a row, folks.
Not giving up, nor should he.
We are at 27 seconds, and he's stepped onto the approach.
Yeah.
And about 25 more seconds to deliver the ball. He leaves a 7-pin, so a couple of 7s here, which is almost identical to what we saw with Matt McNeil earlier.
Yeah, Jack Nicklaus was famous for never hitting a putt before he was ready to hit it. But on a green, you can be doing a lot of your preliminary stuff while the other guy's playing. It's hard to do in bowling because they don't want you standing at the ball return while they're up there. So he's going to have to figure out a way to become more comfortable moving at a little bit of a different pace.
But he is an incredible talent, an incredible bowler, and for being 21 years old, he looks like he's been doing this for years, and he's
no doubt about it.
Won high rollers and super hoinkies and whatever you want to you want to call out.
No doubt about it.
It's kind of intimidating, too. I mean, to be a young guy bowling against a young guy who it seems like he's just polished and been around forever.
Yeah. And it gives you that sense that he's unflappable, you know. He's doing his thing his way and is not going to be moved out of his comfort zone. He's controlling the environment right now.
So he's going at a 228 pace, 220 pace. Ryan can still shoot 235.
Yeah, it's not over.
I can tell you one thing I'm thankful for. I'm glad he's the top seed.
Yeah, great shot.
I mean, the dude is a player. I mean, the guy is awesome.
Absolutely.
And he's been sitting for 3 hours. Although for him, he probably loves it. He'd probably like the old PBA formats where you qualified in one building and had to wait like a month before you went and bowled the finals. He'd probably win every title in that type of setting. I got to wait a month to bowl? That's fine.
Year-long weekend of sitting here starting to show. It's a good shot.
If you go back and watch the other broadcast that he made, I said the same thing. Angie Ramirez did it also. Angie Ramirez is a very deliberate player, and during the IB Open a few years ago, she was running the ladder, and it was very deliberate. Randy Peterson was on that broadcast, and he actually said that it was the slowest bowler he'd ever seen. Zagar taking another re-rack. This is his second re-rack of the game, everybody, if you're keeping score at home. He took one earlier when we were waiting to clear the deadwood, and he just took one right now. So he is out of re-racks.
That's another way to take your time.
It is. That's very true. If he can get this one here, man, that's...
Except, you know, when you do that and you're really just taking your time because there's nothing wrong with the rack, and the next rack you get is a bad one, that's not good. Good shot. Oh. Boy,
The other caveat to that, though, John, is you can call a tournament director over and ask for another re-rack, and you could be granted another re-rack.
that's true.
And I doubt Joe would decline a re-rack if there was something that was offset.
Is there a two-a-game rule here?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, my. That,
He managed to crawl right back into the match, but now...
yeah, that's the undoing right there.
Yep.
I know it was frustrating to leave it, but you don't want to... You don't want to accentuate it. Now, at this point, with all due respect, taking this much time is excessive. I mean, he can't really lose this game. Zagar strikes out. He's got 202.
Mm-hmm.
He can go open, and you have 2-0.
Well, Michael Martell's your 2019 February edition Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open champion. He's going to take home $3,000. They also have a bet you win pod here that also has added money, and I believe he is in that. So Michael Martell is a new champion. He is the 13th champion of this event, as we've had 2 people win it twice, Tom Hess and Casey Murphy. Still can bowl 258. Ryan Zagar is just going to go ahead and finish out. Zagar finishes second, receives $2,100. Not the closest of matches that we've had here, but good bowling all weekend. I was talking to Joe yesterday. It takes 13 games of qualifying and cashier's play to even get into this point. It's a lot of games in a short amount of time. A lot of cold weather up here. And
yeah, grueling might not be the right word, but it is a tough test, and takes a lot of mental energy as well as physical energy. Not too terrible, 7 and 6 games is not the most debilitating test in the world, but when you put yourself on something difficult against a strong field, it's not easy. So it's a well-deserved win.
well, I said the first day when we looked at the field, I said I thought Michael Martell was guaranteed to make the steps. He was the #1 seed and got it done. I'm going to bring him up here to the booth. I want to talk to him here in just a moment here on Inside Bowling. We'll be right back. Mike, good bowling. You got a match?
Ryan, nice bowling, man.
Let me just grab a camera. All right, let's get you in here, and we'll bring it on here. All right, here I am, Mike Flanagan here with Michael Martell. Mike, we don't know each other very well, but I've watched you compete. The last time you were on our broadcast, I mentioned some things about you being a very deliberate bowler. I don't know if you went back and saw that or not.
I did.
But again today, you take a minute between each shot. Why the long deliberate? Why does it take so long for you to get the ball out of your hand?
It's really hard to explain. I've gone through a lot of self-doubt and not believing in myself. So I go through a big pre-shot routine, and I like to get in a rhythm. When you get things going in a rhythm, it's really, really hard to miss. Let your body do its job, and that's the reason. Until I get told I have to take less time. I mean, I have taken less time at college tournaments.
Yeah, you have. I've seen it.
When I have to, I can. But when I have the chance to be deliberate and set the tone of the match, I think that's really important, especially in a scenario like this. So I like to take my time and make the most of my shots.
All right, cool. Well, I want to ask you that question because that's what most people talk about in the chat. It's something that's unusual about you. Now I want to get into the good things and the non-controversial things, which is I've been able to watch you bowl a little bit here at this event, and you're 21 years old. That's why I asked you how old you were. You are so composed and so even keel when you're out there bowling. Where does that come from, and is that on purpose?
It's crazy to hear that because growing up, I'm from New York, and we like to talk a lot of trash to each other, and I'm not used to being like that. College really makes you be like that. Unless you get a chance to show your emotion, you get to stay nice and calm. And so I've always been very calm in situations like this. But when it matters most, I show my emotion. But I like to stay calm and do my thing and let the pins talk for themselves, rather than, unless it's a big one like that last one in the ninth. I know if I stay inside myself, I can't really lose.
I also noticed that when you're bowling, that you stick every shot, it seems like, almost until the ball hits the pins. That's the old cliche, stay down until the ball hits the pins, don't run them out, don't hoop it up. Is that done on purpose too, and have you been doing that your entire career?
No. College bowling changed that a lot. In order to get your body to do the right thing, you got to have good posture. It's timing, rhythm, and balance, and without all those three things, you can't really execute a shot the right way. So I really do pride myself now on being able to stick the shot, but before college, it was never a thing. So I do my best to. I fell off one that match, but other than that, as long as my foot's going in the right direction, I very rarely stand up on one before it goes to the pins.
You're at Robert Morris University. I see you're pretty much anchored the program. What year are you there? And talk a little bit about what's going on with college right now.
So I'm a senior. We actually have 6 seniors on the team this year, so the program's going to go through a bit of an overhaul after this. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm the anchor. We have 4 guys who are really strong, who if you could put any of them in that 10th frame and you can trust them to throw the shot. Or you can trust any of the 8 to throw the shot. But there's 4 of us that really we came on strong this year together as a group. And we rotate our 5th guy a lot, but again, the team is really deep this year. We've had a lot of success, which we haven't seen up until the end of last year. But I think the team took a huge step forward this year. We won the Hoosier for the first time in 5 or 6 years for the program. So I like where this team is going. I'd like to go out with a bang at the end of this year as a national champion.
Well, we'd like to wish you and your team good luck. You bowled a guy who went to Robert Morris and Mr. Zagar, and they've had some great teams there, so it'd be great to see you guys win this year. A little bit more about you as a singles bowler. You got the job done today. Where does this win rank up there for you? Is this one pretty important to you?
This is a big one. So the last couple months, actually almost the last year, I've been in a lot of situations like that where I need to pry one off and I cave. And again, that comes from that self-doubt that I mentioned earlier. But I actually called my coach in between matches, and we
had 3 hours, by the way.
Yeah, we had a nice long conversation. He said, just stay within yourself. You've been there. He literally said, you've been there before, right? You know what to do. Learn from your mistakes. And I made sure that no matter what, again, stick the shot, get it online, let the pins do what they got to do. It's really hard to lose that way. So this one means a lot to me, especially because it's been a while since I've won a big tournament. This is my first really big adult win. We bowled really well at Holiday Doubles a couple months ago, me and my partner, but this is my first big adult win, and it means a lot because I came through in a situation where I've caved the last couple months, so it's a big deal for me.
That's awesome, man. You're going to college. You're getting a degree. I imagine you're a pretty smart guy and probably get pretty good grades.
Fairly decent, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. I can just tell. Are you going to pursue a career in bowling as a professional bowler, or are you going to be one of those guys that's going to just take what bowling has given you, maybe keep bowling events like this, maybe enter an event here and there, and then go on to a career outside of bowling?
So I am an accounting major, and I do plan on sitting for the CPA exam at some point, so I will have options out of college, but I do plan, me and my coach agreed that I should go and bowl the tour. He said that as long as, again, if I bowl like that, I belong out there. And the more I compete on this stuff, I believe that I do. So I will be going on the national tour eventually. Probably won't happen until September. But I don't know. I haven't looked at the schedule much. I don't know what there is to bowl, but I'll definitely be out there next year full time. But I'm moving back to New York when I graduate. So I'll be bowling the East Coast regionals when I graduate in April.
Do you have any idols growing up in bowling?
That's a tough one.
Any pros you look up to?
I really like Pete. Just the mentality that he bowls with. I like to keep it in, but I wish I could expose my emotion like that. Physically, I look up to Parker. His physical game is sound. You can't throw it better than he did. So those are the 2 guys I really enjoyed watching growing up.
Last question I have for you. I see some logos on your chest and all those things, and people watching back home. Would you like to tell the folks at home or have people that you have to thank what
absolutely.
you like to say?
My family at home, there have been a lot of times where I told myself I didn't know how much longer I could bowl competitively. I'd put myself down a lot. My mom has always been there for me through everything. So if you're watching, thanks. This wouldn't be possible without you. My whole family, my little brother, my aunt, the guys back in New York, my backer, he helped me out. He helps me out a lot, Robbie. So thanks. And my sponsors, Columbia, Ebonite. Thank you guys for believing in me, and Apparently Effects. I just recently signed, but thank you guys for believing in my ability and allowing me to represent some of the best companies in the world.
It's awesome, man. I work with Ebonite as well, so if you do try the tour, I'll be the guy out covering you, and I look forward to maybe interviewing you after winning a PBA national title.
That's the plan.
And
man.
we can
That
look
is the
back on
goal.
this day and say, remember the last time we talked?
That's the goal, man.
That would be pretty cool. So I hope everybody stuck around and got to listen to the interview because I didn't know you very well. I was able to ask you some questions, get to know you better. Really proud of how you bowled here, proud of your mental status when it comes to bowling. And I look forward to seeing what you can do in the future, man. Congratulations.
Very much appreciated. Thank
All right,
you.
man. Great win today. It's Michael Martell. We're going to finish things up here from the Fusion here in Waterloo, Iowa. For everybody that was on the broadcast, John, Tom Hess, Joe Engelkiss, and all the people here at the Bowling Center, we'd like to thank you for tuning in this weekend. We'll be back in September for the next Fusion. Have a good day, everybody.